Hey Ninja Clan, how you doing? Welcome back to another review. First of all, I apologise for last week, and I didn't do one. I had some technical issues, internet was down, my editing program was doing some weird things, which is now fixed. I filmed the whole video and just stuff happened, I just couldn't get up, so firstly I apologise for that. Secondly, thank you to Sin Maze. He commented on my Aquaman review a few weeks ago actually, but I somehow missed it and I didn't get a notification in YouTube itself saying that he had commented on my video, but he had. So first of all, sorry that I missed that, Sin Maze, but shout out to you. He does reviews like me. He also did a very good one on Aquaman as well, so if you're interested in that, I'll put his link down in the description, so be sure to check him out. But for now, let's get into today's review, which is Alita Battle Angel. Now, first of all, I have to say that I liked it and didn't like it at the same time. I guess is the best way to put that. I guess. What I mean by that is I enjoyed it, the story was good, but also at the same time there were bits I didn't particularly like. I'll get into a bit more detail, but first of all, here's the plot. So, Alita Battle Angel is set in the 26th century, and the world has been devastated by what they call the Fall. Dr. Dyson Ido, played by Christopher Waltz, rummages through a scrapyard and finds a cyborg girl with an intact brain. He brings her back to his lab and gives her a new body, calling her Alita, played by Rosa Salazar. She's instantly drawn to a boy named Hugo, played by Kenan Johnson, as well as to a violent sport called motorball. Hugo secretly works for a shady businessman though, called Victor, played by Mahershala Ali. I hope I said that right. Helping sabotage professional motorball matches. Hugo hopes to earn money to get to the utopian sky city of Salem. As Alita begins to learn more about her past and discovers her fighting abilities, she enters a motorball tryout, but the evil Nova has ordered her to be killed. Can Alita avoid any more of the attacking cyborgs while saving the day? I don't know. We have to see the movie and find out. So, yeah. Like I said, some bits I liked, some bits... It's a juggernaut, I guess is the best word, sci-fi movie. Has a few genre cliches while filling your visual senses with great special effects. I mean, when you got James Cameron, who was the co-writer in the movie, you know it's going to have great visual effects. But the dialogue and the acting was a bit so-so. Yeah, I mean, I had trouble like picking favourite scenes and favourite actors and actresses. The score was great. I love the score. So the music and the visual effects were great, but then the acting and the dialogue just kind of let it down, and it was very unfortunate. I think it may have needed to be cast a bit better. I thought that Rosa Salazar didn't do too badly. I mean, she's 33 in real life, but in the movie she looked like 12. And I thought she did a good job of acting like she didn't know what was going on, didn't remember her past, was like pretty much thrust into this like post-apocalyptic world and had no idea what anything was. So I thought she would do that. It's also very, very violent, and I was surprised by the ratings it got. In America it was PG-13, and here in Australia it was M, which is interesting because it's very violent, including cyborgs getting impaled, decapitations, etc. Yet it was only M. In fact, no, there were for some actually young kids, like primary school age as well. I'm thinking this movie's way too violent for them. I mean, M here in Australia means parental guidance is needed for people under 16. And then you've got MA, which is kind of the same thing, but worse again. But I think it should have been MA here. In New Zealand, what they need here in Australia is a similar one to what we had in New Zealand, where I'm from, which is R13 and R16, meaning you have to be 13 or plus to see it, or 16 and plus to see it. That would be good for this. R13, I would say, for this one. It's very violent. Very, very violent. Yeah. It's kind of like... yeah. I would... if you enjoyed movies like Elysium, Ghost in the Shell, Valerian, the City of Thousand Cities, Player Runner, Mortar Engines, etc. It's a bit like those, but again the acting was par. Except for Rosa, I thought she did a good job. Forgive me, I've got some notes here that I'm reading off the screen because I'm doing, as you can see, I'm doing a different location. That's still on the bed. To keep you on your toes, change it up a little. Yeah, so so like I said, it was probably should have been a higher rating. They really pushed the boundaries of what they could include in this rating bracket, and even online it says that they really like pushed the boundaries a lot. You know, I love a good action flick as much as the next person, but if you do, I would recommend seeing it if you like a good action flick and if you like good CGI and stuff. If you do go see it, I recommend you see it on like a bigger screen. Don't go to like a small cinema. I saw it on what we call extreme screen here in Australia, which is a bit bigger and the sound's a bit better and stuff. I don't know how to make it sound better. I think it's a bit louder, to be honest, but it sounded good anyway. Like I said, the score was great. And also, if you get a chance, see it in 3D. It is post 3D, but it actually works. Sometimes you see a movie that's put in 3D, like in post, and it looks terrible. This one did not. This one actually looked good in 3D. I think the director, who was called Robert Rodriguez, was thinking about, okay, how will this shot look in 3D if we decide to do a 3D version. I think he was thinking that, and yeah. So favourite scene. So as I said, favourite actress was Rosa. My favourite scene was the first time that Alita plays a skirmish round of motorball. So she gets, as the plot said, she gets a motorball. She finds a skirmish round that Kenan Johnson's character Hugo shows her to, and she played this. A little of a spoiler here, but this guy like tackles her down, and then she just goes crazy and makes him fall flat on his ass. A little spoiler. It's quite funny. My other favourite scene, again, spoiler alert. A cyborg has all these cyborg dogs that they call the Hellhounds, I believe, and he gets revenge on another cyborg. Sorry, I can't talk. For killing a real dog. If you are a dog lover, this scene may make you shed a tear. A real dog gets killed. I almost shed a tear for that scene, being a dog lover. But then the cyborg, the hounds, sticks his dog, take him out because of it. And he says a line that's like, I don't like guys who pick on dogs or something like that. And so it was sad and then made me laugh at the same time. It was good. As I said, I find it hard to pick my favourite actor because they're all pretty par. I thought Rosa did an okay job, and Christopher, who played Dr. Ido, he did okay, but it was kind of like they were just saying lines with like no emotion behind half of them. It was, yeah. Overall, I would probably give it maybe an 8 point, maybe an 8, 7.5, 8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes only give it 59%. Again, maybe a bit low for how it was. And IMDb gave it a 7.6 out of 10. So IMDb gave it a little bit higher than what I would give it. Had a big budget of $200 million, which I thought was, which is a pretty big budget for a film. I would never made a film, I don't know, but that's what it sounds like a large amount. First week of the box office, it made 41 million in America. Also made 94 million around the world. That's including UK, Australia, New Zealand. It excludes China and Japan. Not sure why, but that's what the internet said. Which puts the first week total box office amount at 136 million. So they didn't even make a profit yet in the first week. Now their numbers have probably gone up. I didn't actually check them. But this is a small number compared to how many places it was being shown around the world. IMAX alone had 404 cinemas showing it, and only made 60% of the overall gross. To put that in a little more of a perspective, it made 57% of what Black Panther got in the first 5 days at this time last year. To give you a little bit of perspective of how well it's doing compared to another big flick. So take those numbers how you will, but I still recommend it's worth seeing. That's really all I have to say. If you're a parent and you want to take this to, and you want to take your kids to see this, I found this thing online of what parents should know, which says parents need to know that A Little Bit Angel is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi action movie about a resurrected teen cyborg. Expect lots of fantasy, violence and fighting, including punching, stabbing, slicing, death and blood. Both red human blood and blue cyborg. The female characters, including Alita, are sexualized and objectified, sometimes in an unsettling way. There's some flirting and kissing between Alita and a young male man, human man. Language includes one F-U-C-K and infrequent use of other words like crap and piss. So, a secondary character drinks whiskey in more than one scene, and a young man mentions having a bit too much. So, something the parents should know. But if you're just a person like me who's female going to see it, I do recommend it. Just bear in mind it's more of an action, sci-fi, CGI flick, and the acting is not so great. I would actually say it's probably not good for young children because of the amount of violence. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this review. My next video, I'm not sure what it's going to review of yet. I do have orientation day for college tomorrow. I'm planning to take my camera along and maybe film some bits if I can see any decent shots. But I may not upload that. So yeah, bear that in mind. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, and if you're new, please subscribe. My name's Nick Ninja Adams. Hope you enjoyed this review. See you next time. Bye.